With a glow of the screen and a heart full of pride, he's talking with experts from the world far and wide, broadcasting his voice through the good and the grand, on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X across the land. Every Saturday morning, he's the urology man.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We're coming to you live from, where are we coming from? Louisville. So normally Lori's on another monitor somewhere in someplace.
But I have the pleasure of sitting right next to Vic today.
Yeah, we're live next to each other. No cat that's walking across
Right.
the backdrop. So, hey, I got a couple of things to get out of the way here. If you're watching us for the first time, what you waiting for? Why'd you wait so long to watch us? Check us out on UroNurse.com to learn more about the show. Also, all of our past episodes are up there, all 167 of them. Our audio podcast comes out shortly after this show, so you can always check us out there too. Hey, here's a new one. October 5th, we hit our 1 million views. Do you believe that?
That is great. And it was also my birthday.
Well, there you go. Now I know why we hit 1 million views. Hey, if anybody has any comments, feel free to put them into the comment box. We're always glad to look at those. But we're going to take you through what it's like to come to the conference and be here live. So I thought I'd start with, every conference is located someplace different usually, and there's always something unique to do when you go someplace here to visit. Louisville's no exception, and this was a little visit my wife and I took earlier on. So one of the things I always recommend if you come someplace is check out the local tourist attractions. We're in Louisville, Kentucky, home of bourbon. So guess where we're going? Old Forester Bourbon is a historic American whiskey brand with roots back to the 1870s when George Gavin Brown introduced it as the first bourbon sold exclusively in sealed glass bottles to guarantee quality and authenticity. Cheers. Now it's tasting time. If you like bourbon, it's a good place to go. There's some pretty good bourbon here. So that was a little taste of Louisville. There's obviously more to do. We were going to go to the Sluggers where they make the bats, but that got goofed up. So didn't get out there, but I thought I'd share something with you. Now, if you come to a conference, what's the first thing you got to do, Lori, when you get to the conference?
Check in.
Check in. So let's take a look at check-in. Hey, welcome. This is the first time you're checking out a conference. The first thing you need to do is go over here to the registration desk. That's where you get to register and get your badge and all that good stuff. So we're going to go do that right now. So just hang on and watch as we take care of that. So here's why I put all these badges on, so that they go on the bottom of your name tag. Gives you a little bling. What can I say? The longer you've been doing stuff, the more of these badges you'll have. So keep coming to a lot of conferences. I think one time I had to drag it on the floor. So unfortunately, I have to overdub this because somehow I didn't have the volume turned on, but I'm showing what the conference room looks like that the keynote speaker is going to be using. So just a little preview of what it looks like when you get to the conference and get to see the keynote speaker setting up. Here's what the conference room looks like, full of all the people. Can't wait to hear the first keynote speaker. Interesting, this keynote speaker was also on my show with the Dr. Jeff Sex and Intimacy show. So let's see what
we do. And then over here, we're looking at the steps. And what happens when you look at your feet when you're dancing, you're more likely to get stuck. And you're more likely to get stuck.
So, Lori, we were talking earlier. We said that, things are a little different. There's a new management company that's running SUNA now, Kennelly. And so things have changed a little bit, but there's some other things that are new. Did you happen to take in an escape room?
Oh my gosh, the escape room was a lot of fun. Small groups going in there and just working collaboratively to try to find little puzzle pieces or whatever. It was a lot of fun.
I know my kids are all into the escape rooms. I have to say, I don't know if I'm a big escape room person, but I decided to check it out myself. And I interviewed the people that put this together. So here's a little bit about the escape room. This is something new that they're doing this year for SUNA. They're having a escape room experience. Is that right?
Yeah.
Who would like to talk? Just feel free to take the mic. It saves me having to hold the mic in front of you. So tell me a little bit about what the escape room experience was.
So we essentially created an escape room, and we presented the nurses or anyone that wanted to participate with the scenario, where they kind of have to figure out puzzle pieces to unlock these puzzle pieces, and essentially help the patient escape the room. Right? Anything?
Yeah.
So whose idea was it to come up with an escape room?
So the actual escape room, I think, was more the college's idea. I don't know.
College and SUNA maybe combined,
Yeah,
I'm not
wanted to
sure.
have this, and then the actual ideas for what the different puzzles were and where to actually place things and like how to set things up were the three of us.
Oh, great. Great. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I think it'll be something they'll probably continue in the future. Can you show me one thing here that they had to do? One project?
So one of the
Yeah.
We won't give away the secret of how it's
Yeah,
solved,
sure,
but just,
Yeah. So I mean, this thing's actually kind of neat.
Okay.
They actually had to put a catheter in. They'd select the appropriate catheter, insert a catheter appropriately, a urinary catheter, and then this is actually fluid in here.
okay.
And it all drained out, and then whatever amount that they got was an answer to a puzzle piece.
So they measured the amount that was,
Yeah.
Different things around the room that
wow.
are their puzzle pieces.
Well, very good. Well, thanks for speaking with UroNurse today. So that's kind of neat. I think it's going to be something that might catch on in the future. Gives you a little something different to do at a conference. So one of the things that keeps the foundation is get lost for words. So the foundation is one of these things that keeps the SUNA Foundation running, or is money. And one of the ways they earn money is by having this giveaway for different prizes and stuff. So I did do an interview with them, and since I'm murdering this right now, and feel free to speak up and correct me if I'm wrong, but have you gone down and seen any of the foundation things they have to give away?
I did. There's a lot of nice things down there. Very tempting.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring in the foundation.
Hello.
So welcome.
Hi, Vic.
So this is the foundation. This is how you guys make all your money,
That's
your big
right.
money, right?
This is our biggest fundraiser every year.
Yeah.
So welcome to the silent auction.
Yeah. And I can bid on anything I want, right?
That's right. It all goes to scholarships, research, and awards.
Well, that's great. Fantastic. I received one of those scholarships myself, so I know
I remember. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So
It
anyone can
come in
apply.
handy, yeah.
Yeah. If you're a member for 12 to 24 months, you're good to go.
Great.
Lots of options, lots of donations from all over our group. So we appreciate anything people have, and you have jewelry and bags and scholarship, scarves and core curriculums and all
And
sorts
Disney
of things.
backpacks.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff here, I can say
I
that.
know. It's so much fun. People can get their Christmas shopping done.
Right.
Yeah,
If
just
you
in
need
time
a-
for Christmas.
Yeah. If you need an impromptu birthday gift.
And you can always go to the website at suna.org
That's
to the
right.
foundation and
Yes.
donate just
And-
money.
Right.
You guys
Exactly.
are willing to take it, right?
Absolutely.
All right, good. All righty. Well, and our local chapter, Chicago Metro, did donate a $300 Amazon gift card,
Yes.
which I'm hoping to win.
I want that.
I'd never win anything, so I doubt I'll get it. But anyway,
Yeah,
it goes to a great cause. I got the scholarship, so I'm ahead of the game.
That's right.
Well,
no,
thanks for
your chapter's
talking
been
to
very
us.
generous, and we
Yeah.
appreciate all you do with the UroNurse.
Glad to be a
and
part of
supporting
it.
the foundation.
Yep, glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Vic.
All right,
This is fun.
thank you.
Yeah, take care.
And those two foundation members are past presidents for SUNA. That was Valerie Welch and Debbie Hensley that I was talking to. So great people, keeping the money flowing for scholarships. And hey, if you haven't come to a conference because of the cost, you can put in for a scholarship. Did you know that, Lori?
I did know that.
All right. Okay, so let's see. One of the other things that I like is the exhibit hall. Have you visited the exhibit hall at
I
all?
actually just went up there, and walked into a lot of catheter companies at first.
Yeah.
Overwhelming how many different catheters are out now from when I first started.
A lot of new
Yeah.
devices, though. I saw things that I never heard of. A catheter that if they try to pull it out, deflates itself before they hurt themselves.
Yeah, that was interesting. We were actually talking about that yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
And then I saw another one. It's not yet, I think, approved, but they're working on it, where if somebody tries to inflate the catheters in the urethra, it has a valve that'll kick out so it doesn't blow up in the urethra.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I mean, how many times have you had a patient coming in with, bleeding profusely from a catheter that was inflated in their prostate?
Yep. Once that happens to you, you will never do it again.
Absolutely.
Knock on wood, it's never happened to me, but
Yeah, but I've taken care of, I'm sure as you
Oh,
have too,
absolutely
taken
taken
care of a
care
number
of.
of those patients.
Absolutely.
It's a nightmare. So I did get around to talk to some of the vendors that did want to come on and talk to us. So I'm going to roll them right here so you can see a little bit about what you can see at the exhibit. Hey, thanks for supporting UroNurse and for supporting SUNA. And let me just make sure I got your mic on here. Yeah, there we go. So Danny, tell us a little bit about Convatec and what we should know about it.
Well, Convatec, we're a global manufacturer of intermittent cell catheters. We're unique because we've got two brands of catheters and we take two different approaches to helping our patients. Our newest patented technology that we featured on UroNurse is FeelClean technology. And we've got a patent of integrating the hydrophilic properties into our calves, so we don't have to use any base layers of adhesives or PVP. Provides more comfort for patients, causes less trauma and irritation to the urethra.
Yeah, and I just went to a talk from Todd Thompson about that, and he was talking about the importance of less trauma and how much it could actually cause injury to the urethra, and that's causing a lot of what we now are finding out are used to be thought of as urinary tract infections are really just trauma.
Exactly, and when we're relying on patients to have confidence in the process in order to stay compliant to the doctor's orders, that trauma plays a big part in that.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing with FeelClean technology is restoring that confidence in our patients, letting them know they can self-cath, causing minimum damage, minimum discomfort to their body. They can still empty their bladder efficiently.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for the support.
Thanks, Vic.
Hi, Mike. Welcome to Louisville. Gemini is one of the sponsors of UroNurse, as you know, and supporting SUNA, which is always great. So can you tell us a little bit about Gemini that we might want to know?
Absolutely. Gemini is now in their fourth year of commercialization, specializing in urodynamics testing equipment and catheters. We have software that just gives the customer capabilities to do things that no one else can. Some very interesting stuff here. We're doing extremely well, kind of moving into the academic facilities as we continue to move along, and it's just been fantastic.
Any new equipment that came out this year, or any new secrets?
We are carrying a new bed this year, a new table.
Wow.
It's called the Medimatic. It actually has 4 motors in it, so it can actually get down to 18 inches off the ground for wheelchair patients, which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
We launched it at AUA and got some really positive results with that. So,
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's available now if somebody was interested?
That's available now, absolutely.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate all the support you've given UroNurse, and again, for SUNA people, this is a great conference to have you guys involved in too.
Appreciate it. Love being here.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you so much.
Hey, Matt, it's great seeing you here at the show. Always great that you sponsored our show, our UroNurse, and that you're sponsored for SUNA.
Yeah, happy to be back again. I think this is our 11th year sponsoring SUNA, and our 4th year?
I think about third year, because we're 3 years into it. Yeah,
UroNurse,
you were from the start. Yeah, one of our first sponsors. You probably don't know this, but I just hit my 1 millionth view on UroNurse. Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
So yeah, we're really hyped about that. It's I have UroNurse that I'm sure you're aware of because you sponsor it, but I've also produced UroNurse or UroPatient, which goes out just to patients.
Interesting.
So that one's taking off like crazy. I also do a weekly news show now, Monday through Friday, a little 5 minutes, what's the latest in research, and that's taking off like crazy. And then, since I'm not busy enough, on Tuesday nights I have Jeff Alba, who's a sex educator.
Yeah.
He's got a sex show every Tuesday night.
It sounds like you're trying to get me to sponsor more things.
So yeah, I might want you to sponsor some more. Actually, what I would like you to do is set up another date with me. like to do another demo and kind of talk a little more about Glido on the show.
Yeah, without a doubt, because it's been a busy year for us, and Glido, we continue to grow, protect the urethra. You've been a staunch supporter of protecting the urethra prior to any instrument being introduced into the urethra.
Yeah.
So.
And it's actually got a lot of views.
Yeah.
So it's one of those popular things. Always good to see if there's anything new and exciting, and if nothing else, just remind people.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
So-
thank you, Vic. I
Great,
appreciate
great.
it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot.
All your support. So I'm with Ralph Lombardo from Elitone. It's Allied is the company, right?
Allied is the company.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Elitone has been a sponsor of the show and a sponsor for UroNurse or for SUNA for quite a while too.
Yes.
So
yes.
we're really glad to have you for both things.
Well, thank you, Vic. You know, every time we've done any project with you, it's been successful, and the nurse practitioners really love, and nurses really love, right, your show, really love our device. Our device is really growing.
Great.
Today, 40,000 women will treat themselves with the device. So we're real happy with the progress we're making.
Are there anything new and exciting that you have?
Yes, the Elitone Urge device was approved by the FDA, and we just submitted all of the data for the male device post prostatectomy, and the study came back really strong. Patients were rehabbing much faster. Very, very good device. Yep.
And this is your pad that they're using?
That's the pad that they use. What's great about Elitone is it's external, and our acceptance rate is very high, and our return rate for the device is less than 4%. So women use it, they like it, they treat themselves, and it's covered by Medicare, Medicaid in 22 states, and by all the major payers for the most part.
So you're treating urge incontinence, you're treating stress incontinence, mixed incontinence.
Yeah.
You're covering the whole works.
The whole demographic, and we hope the FDA is favorable with the male device.
Now, here's another question for you: is Gloria still speaking on the product, doing
She is. She's very active. She's a great CEO. We love her. You know, she had the problem herself after delivering children.
I think it was kind of neat to have somebody who could speak from their own, perspective, and somebody who developed the product. So it was kind of neat. I'd like to get her back on the show. She hasn't been on in a little while.
Let's get her on.
So
just connect with me, and
I will.
we'll get her back
I'll
on.
touch base with you, and we'll.
Well, we
set something
appreciate
up.
you, Vic. We appreciate your commitment to the organization and to
Absolutely.
what we do.
Yeah.
You've been great to work with. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Okay, take care.
Right. Oh, I'm glad to get to meet you here again in real life instead of over the internet only.
Thank you.
One of our newest sponsors, Quick Change, that joined the UroNurse family. It's glad to see you here at SUNA.
Well, we love it here, and it's our third show now, and we're going to keep coming back because we find it to be very fruitful for us. And we love surprising all these newbies who it's their first attendance. So,
Yeah. And I mean, this product is a revolutionary way to deal with incontinence.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And as you know, it's great because the one size and the one shape actually addresses every single type of shape and size of the gentleman's anatomy, and addresses very many situations with leakage when they're having leakage from condom casts and Foley casts, and this is a great way to get rid of the COTIs, the UTIs, the macerations.
And how much urine does this hold?
It holds 500 mLs.
500, that's half a liter.
Yeah. Yes, and actually the top cloth here, cloth dries in less than 2 minutes, and so you're maintaining that skin integrity as well. Yeah.
And that's, as it says, quick change. The reason is it's so fast to change it instead of like a traditional diaper where you got to try to pull it down. And
it is, and for those gentlemen who are in wheelchairs, it's great because they don't have to get out of the chair to change them, and they can just change it right in the chair. So yes, it holds 500 mLs, dries to the touch. Actually, the gentleman will feel the bulkiness and the warmth maybe because it does hold 500. It'll become heavy, so you'll have to change it, but the cloth being dry after 2 minutes is just amazing because it's going to maintain that skin integrity and just and it takes the other thing I want to tell you is it takes one person to change it. You don't need two. There's no lifting or rolling or turning or repositioning. One person can do it in less than 60 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and your talk on UroNurse went out because, as I sent some information to you, YouTube sent me my monthly review, and one of the things it tells you is what's your number one video, and it was you guys.
We're so happy.
So the word's getting out. People want this knowledge, and we're glad to provide it. Vic Senese from UroNurse. You guys are one of our supporters. I don't think we've met before.
No, my name is Mike Mersinger. I'm the VP of Sales here at HR Healthcare.
Great. So great product. Can you tell me a little bit about HR Healthcare, what they do, what they provide?
Sure. We're HR Healthcare. We are a urology company. We cover everything from the acute care setting in the hospitals all the way to the patient's home. So we've got the Foleys, the kits, the trays in the acute care setting. And then for those patients that need the self-cath at home, we offer a lot of different variety of products and bill and ship it directly to their door.
Great. Covered by insurance?
Yes, it's covered by Medicare. Our private insurances are growing, but if we're not able to fill it, we actually find other suppliers that can bill and ship the product to our patients as well.
So if somebody makes a referral to you, you're going to take care of them one way or the other, right?
That's correct.
So you're not left high and dry.
That's right. We try to make it easy for everybody.
And any choices in products, or do you have one product that you prefer to use for patients?
So it really depends on the patient, what they like. So we offer everything from uncoated catheters, gel-based catheters, hydrophilics, male, female. Got some great products for patients in the rehab setting. So it really depends on the patient preference, and that's really what we...
That's the key, because as somebody who teaches a lot of intermittent catheterization, no two patients need the same catheter usually.
That's correct.
You're going to find one that does better with a lubricated, one that does one out of lubrication because it slips too much on them. So it's having choice is always a big deal.
Absolutely. And our team, they're very well versed not only in our products, but a lot of the competitive products as well. And when they go out and do in-services at the hospitals and rehabs and even in the private clinic setting, they do a great job of really explaining what's best for the patient and the different types of catheters there are on the market.
Well, great. I appreciate all your support for our show and for the SUNA group.
Yep, thank you.
All right, well,
Appreciate
thank you
your
very
time.
much.
It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Well, it was fun kind of meeting some of the people that have supported this show in the past, and then all the new vendors that I hadn't met from before. It was really neat kind of walking around. So, and there's still some more vendors to see.
There's a lot of vendors, so it's hard to get through them all. We tried to do that, but there's a lot.
And they really all have the same message to me. They say that they love coming to nursing conferences because nurses will spend time with them.
I'd walk by and one of the vendors, they'd be looking at me and I'm like, I'm just going to come over here because you're looking at me.
There you go. So come to the conference. They're always willing to talk to you. Now, one of the things I was really excited about is they have these posters that every year they have the poster presentations. And these people are standing around, and some people come up and ask them questions about their posters, but usually not. And I have to admit that sometimes I didn't even look at the posters. But since I'm doing the show, I started walking over there and talking to some of them. They all want to talk about their posters. So I did capture some of these poster presentations. So here's a few.
Creatus imaging. It's investigational therapeutic right now.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it's an oncolytic immunotherapy with a dual mechanism of action. That's the key thing for BCG unresponsive disease.
Okay.
Yep. It's given study design. It's given just like BCG.
Okay. They keep it in their bladder for how long?
60 minutes. It says 45 to 60, but 60 minutes is the goal.
Gotcha.
Yep. I think the big takeaway is the complete response rate at any time. So this could be after induction or after reinduction. Of course, the complete response at 12 and 24 months. Big thing for me and from a nursing perspective is the adverse events. And the big highlight there is the 1 day median time of adverse events. So a lot of these intravesical therapies, patients will have side effects for 3 to 4 days, and then it's time to come back in the next week and get your next treatment.
Just as your side effects go away, you start the next treatment.
It's time to come back. So 1 day, I think that will sound really nice to patients who have had BCG, because this is for...
Is this given on the same schedule?
Same schedule
once
as
a
BCG.
Week for 6 weeks?
Once a week, 6 weeks, and then again, they can do, if needed, can do a reinduction, or if they're clear after their first 6 weeks, go on to a maintenance schedule.
I see you have a preparation and administration guideline there.
Yep. Yep.
Any special safety handling for this? Or?
Just like BCG, the only thing with cretostimogene is you first put in DDM, it's drained, and then the cretostimogene is infused. Patient holds that in their bladder for 60 minutes.
All right, great.
Yep.
Available on market yet, or
Not yet.
coming soon?
Coming soon.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, that was really neat. If you don't know who Diane Newman is, you should know who Diane Newman is. She is fantastic. Been in urology, great speaker. So she had a poster to present, and you'll kind of see that we're both fanning out over each other. So here's Diane.
Diane, great to see you.
Thanks so much, Vic. I just love UroNurse.
I know you do, and you've been on the show several times.
I know, and I just think that you've really created something that's really needed for urology nurses.
Yeah, I'm feeling that same way. So
and especially
really good.
You're so knowledgeable that we need more people like you educating us.
Yeah, well, we need more people educated. That's for
Right,
sure.
right.
Because we can't be alive for the rest of our lives.
That's
I guess the
exactly
rest
right.
of our lives, but we can't be alive
we're
forever.
going to live forever. Don't worry.
Yeah. Are we? Okay. You're working on one of those
Yeah,
studies
that's right.
too, right?
That's exactly right.
All right. So let's go over your poster here.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
So, we've been presenting our data for now many meetings, and this is a registry, and I want to commend Hollister because they are funding a registry that we want to hit 500 participants who perform intermittent catheterization.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, intermittent self-catheterization, transurethral. This poster is on 225 participants in 3 countries, U.S., Canada, and U.K., but recent data, we're up to 273, so we're getting there.
Wow.
We follow them for 5 years. It's all online surveys. We send them out a survey every quarter for the first year, then twice a year for up to 5 years. But what this poster is about, and I think this is what's important for nurses, look at this. We're asking what their choices are in cath and who trained them.
Right.
Nurses provided the initial training, and men and women. But look at this. When they wanted further information, guess where they went? Catheter manufacturer websites is number 1. Nurses are second.
Yep.
So, you know this, Vic. We educate them, we teach them, we give them choices, we tell them what to do, but then do we follow them up? And what this is saying, they're not coming back to us.
They're lost to follow up.
That's right, and they're not coming back to us.
Right.
And that's, I think, a problem.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that the medical suppliers aren't great. They are. But don't you think we're more of the experts in this?
Absolutely.
And should be involved. So that's kind of one of the things that came out of this. So I think that, we need, this is a role of nurses in facilitating informed personal catheter selection. And there are some differences. Not that much. Same amount went to manufacturers, a little bit less the women. And then they went to peer-generated content, and I think that's YouTube and the internet.
That's exactly what
Right?
it is. People talking about their own
Problems and then
what's happened.
And I think that, I mean, some of that information may be correct, but you and I know some's probably wrong.
Right.
So anyway, I
And
appreciate
you have
it.
no way to know what's
That's exactly right.
actually being, good
you're
information
exactly right.
versus junk that's out there.
So I'm really
hits.
excited about this. We're collecting a lot of data. We hope to hit that 500. It's anybody. Background is, again, neurogenic, non-neurogenic.
So now,
and I think we're
if
good.
I'm a patient, I wanted to join the study.
Well, I know.
Is it
and
possible?
Yes, and I think that what I'm going to do, Vic, is on one of your shows, I want to put up our QR code. So we got
Absolutely.
all right. How about we schedule this? And with your patient's show,
Yeah.
you got Europatient.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Europatient would be
because
ideal.
with a QR code, they can go right to the site and enroll. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
I have one quick question for you.
Yeah.
Because you're doing America, Canada, and Great Britain, have you noticed, are you breaking it out at all?
Well-
Is there a difference between how it's done in different countries?
And I asked the statistician, you're right, the guy that's doing all of our data, I wanted to know actually if this was mostly in the U.S., for
That's kind of what I'm
I
curious.
know. Well, I think we will know more of that as we get bigger numbers.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, the bulk of these patients are coming from the U.S.
Okay.
Now we're adding more European countries because we have to translate the surveys and all that. So we weren't starting to see differences, but I have to tell you the bulk is out of the U.S.
And can people that are not in those countries be participating in it?
Well,
we put a QR code out. I go to 61 countries in my show.
You can go anywhere. The problem won't be the language barrier, but one of the things, I don't know why we're not in Australia, so that's English
Yeah,
speaking.
right. Another English speaking.
Like I said, I know that Italy wants us. I forget which country, but we have to translate. But yes, go out to all your countries because
Okay.
I'm sure you have a lot of English speaking.
Well, we're going to bring it to Europatient.
All right, thanks so much.
All right, thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
All right. Diane's always fascinating to talk to. So I also run into people that have been on the show and presented in the past. We've talked with Pathnostics, and I ran into Margot Lee, so here's her presentation.
Well, look who I ran into. Margot, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Vic. Thanks for stopping by.
I see you have a poster for us today.
I do. This is one that we had a podium session this morning with Christy Hicks, and she presented it this morning at our research session. And it's comparison of microorganisms in prostatitis, male UTI, and female UTI. And what we saw in this group of about 39,000 patients is that we saw that E. coli is the prevalent organism in female UTI, but Enterococcus faecalis is the lead organism in male UTI as well as prostatitis.
That was probably a little bit of a surprise then.
Yeah, because I think in the field that we're in, that everybody feels it's very E. coli centered. So it actually had a lot of very big implications because Enterococcus faecalis also is missed by standard urine culture almost 50% of the time.
Right.
So that if you're really looking and trying to identify what organism, sometimes E. faecalis is missed. And so, and it has some big implications. We also presented at ASM Microbe in May. Also on Enterococcus faecalis and its role with other organisms and increasing antibiotic resistance. So
now,
it's interesting.
For those that may not be aware of what Pathnostics is, can you tell a little bit about the difference between a conventional urine culture and what Pathnostics is doing?
Yeah, Pathnostics is known for our Guidance UTI test. And this is a test that's a two-part test. Will detect the organisms present in a very small clinically relevant panel, and once we detect it with PCR, we'll also detect the presence of any antibiotic resistance genes that are there. So there's about 32 that we'll detect. But the thing that we're really known for that is our unique thing that we do is we have pooled antibiotic susceptibility. So the second part of that test is taking a patient sample and keeping all the organisms together and mimicking what goes on in the bladder and figuring out susceptibility based on how all these organisms are interacting in the presence of antibiotics. So it's almost like a real-time view to actually see how these organisms, when they all are together in the bladder, react to an antibiotic. So it's a nice way to kind of understand what you're going to see before you actually give your patient antibiotics.
We found with our patients too, sometimes you get patients come in, we'll do a culture, it comes back negative. And they're back because I know I've got symptoms. We do this test and we find out there was something that was missed, as you said. So it's really a great thing to have in the toolbox.
Yeah, it's great to have, and it's really wonderful in that we start to pick up that there's many people that are standard urine culture negative that are symptomatic, that we see these active UTI biomarkers elevated in these patients. So there truly are UTIs that are being missed many times in a culture setting. So, and also it's a wonderful way to keep antimicrobial stewardship for your patients, because we identify one antibiotic that covers a pool of organisms rather than looking at each organism by itself and figuring out different antibiotics that you can treat. So it's really wonderful. And
well, great for the information. Appreciate it. It's always great to talk here in real life instead of on the internet. But
I know.
And they can always check out past episodes to learn more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's wonderful to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Thanks so much for stopping and seeing me and talking about the poster today. Thank you, Vic.
So there was a bunch of poster presentations, and the presenters were so gracious. They all wanted to be on camera. I just couldn't turn them down, so here's the rest.
Welcome. My name is Vic Senese. I'm with UroNurse. You
nice
are?
to meet you. I'm Stephen Polinsky.
All right.
I'm with Augment Health.
All right, great. And you presented this poster at SUNA this year?
Yes.
Take it away. Tell us about what you did.
So our goal was to make urodynamics more natural, at least the pressure monitoring case. And so we were testing a device that would measure from the drainage port of a Foley catheter with a valve at the end and pick up those pressure readings. We compared the readings taken from that device to a pressure sensor in the catheter or inside the bladder.
Right, the traditional way of doing it.
Exactly. And so filled the bladders, these porcine bladders, with saline, and compared to the measurements taken, we saw 99.7% concordance between the experimental measurements and the measurement inside the bladder. So as a parallel for vesicle pressure, we were excited, but the other challenge is really picking up what's the abdominal contribution. And so in an ex vivo model, we simulated with compressions, spasms and coughs, as well as postural changes like sitting and standing. And we saw 90% or 88% sensitivity in classifying those activities.
So you were able to take those out of the picture to know what's true
Exactly.
vesicle
And so-
pressure, yeah.
Or the interesting thing being, we were able to take out the coughs and leave in the contractions.
Wow.
And so it showed promise, but really what would be interesting or more usable is if we could have a continuous reading, so something equivalent to what the rectal catheter is showing. So the next step, at least what we're working on currently after this poster, is an algorithm that, while this is running, would continuously be processing those out.
Wow. Oh, sounds great. Good luck at it. All right, we're with Karen Spriggs, is it? Yep. From Coloplast, talking about the poster that you're presenting, correct?
That's correct.
All
Today
right.
we have microhole zone technology, makes nurses feel more confident and less worried about bladder emptying and urinary tract infections among their patients. So we actually went to 407 nurses, and most of their patients had prostate problems. These were for patients with clean intermittent catheters with male patients. Okay, so this is our male Lucia catheter with microhole zone technology. And more than 40,
This is the newest catheter
This is
that
one of the newest catheters,
came out. I
yes.
think it was introduced at the last SUNA meeting.
Two SUNA
meetings
so
ago.
last year's SUNA was female Lucia.
Ah, okay.
2 years ago was male Lucia. So this is the male Lucia study.
And in case someone's not familiar with the difference,
Yeah.
normal catheter has the
Just
one
two
drainage,
eyelets.
two
Just
eyelets
two
to
eyelets
drain.
is what the typical
Lucia
one is.
has
Microhole zone technology. So multiple holes to drain the bladder to completion.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So what's great is that the nurses that we surveyed, 42% of them had more than 10 years experience training their patients. And what we found was that 88% felt more confident that their patients were emptying their bladder with the male Lucia. 86% said it was easier to train their patients with no repositioning, because with two eyelet catheters they were supposed to reposition, and nobody ever does that.
Yeah.
And then 81% were less worried about their patients getting urinary tract infections because they were draining their bladder to completion. And 75% preferred microhole zone technology over the traditional two eyelet catheters. And 85% say that it was easy or very easy to train their patients. And 98% would recommend Lucia to their patients.
Wow.
That's great numbers, right?
Those are great numbers. And I've also heard that the advantage of the multi-hole or micro-hole technology,
yes.
Micro-hole technology is you're not sucking in that tissue through one
That's
hole
right.
because you got that big
Yes,
blast
a
of
lot less mucosal,
right.
mucosal suction on the bladder wall. Absolutely.
And
which
we're finding
can lead
that mucosal injury can be what
lead to-
causes a lot of these symptoms.
Yes, it will lead to more sediment in the urine, leads to more sloughing of the urethral tissue off of the mucosal tissue off the bladder, therefore reducing the risk of urinary tract infections.
Well, good. Thanks for presenting your poster.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I'm walking by and I see this title, Chew to Poo. You got to explain what that is. My name is Vic Senese. I'm with UroNurse, and
Hello,
you are.
I'm Yvonne Kalsich, and we just absolutely love our name. We have this amazing team that we all came up with this. So you think chew to poo. What exactly does that mean? You know what it means? Chew some gum so that you don't get a post-op ileus, and that's what we have.
Oh my gosh, it's too easy.
It's too easy, exactly. So in the cystectomy patients, we want to just make sure that they're not getting a post-op ileus. So we all came together and we collected some data and whatnot, and we found out that 35% of the time they were getting ileuses.
Those that didn't chew gum.
That didn't chew gum, exactly. So we wanted to know if they chewed gum, could we actually beat that? And so our goal actually was over here like 31.95%. What we found out is that we actually were successful with our patients in not getting NG tubes. So we didn't quite meet this 31%, but we were very thrilled because it did decrease the risk of needing an NG tube post-operatively. So we were thrilled with that. So the data didn't quite come back, but it was a super easy project. The patients loved it. So at
Now, who doesn't love chewing gum?
who doesn't like chewing gum? And they got to pick their flavors. We had a variety of flavors for them.
So it doesn't
as
matter
well.
what flavor gum you chew or what
No.
brand, as long as
And
you're
you know
chewing.
what? If you had some false teeth, we had Freedent.
There you go. And how many sticks per day did they chew?
Well, that's what we did is 10 and 3 and 8 p.m. And they took a nice
okay.
little record right here. So they kept this in their room, and then our nurses had to go back and document. That's where we saw a few things. There was like a variety of different times that they were documenting and whatnot. So we're not sure about the data, how specific that was. But if we can get closer to getting that more accurate, I think we're really going to see this skyrocket.
Well, you got the best title, so now all you need is more statistics to back you up.
Yep, exactly. So
Well-
go out there and chew that gum and think of us.
All right. Well, thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right. So here I am with Maria Galez.
Yes.
Who has this great poster on understanding the flow. And you're going to explain what the flow is, but do you want to do it in Spanish or English? We were talking
Doesn't matter.
about
We
it.
can do it in English.
Okay, well, let's do it in English.
Hablo inglés. So, in the urology clinic at Mayo Clinic, we noticed that we had some patients that were canceling urodynamic studies because they weren't educated on what the urodynamic study was. So we gathered some information, and
So it was basically fear of the test that made them
that's
cancel?
right. I mean, we'd have them that right then and there, and they're like, "No, I'll come another day," just because it's a little scary and invasive. So Chris Allery, Michelle, myself, and other group members came up with a solution. We gathered some data and made a QR code for the doctors' postcards, and started giving or sending patients in their portal the QR code or a link where they could watch the video. So it's an educational video. It tells you what's going to happen before, the day of, the day after, what to expect. We did do the surveys, which ask if we notified them if we had given them the QR code, and they just answered a couple questions, and we now send it to every patient when they're scheduled. So
Now, did you get statistics of people that didn't get the code versus those that did to see who's canceling more or less? The results.
Yes.
Among
Sorry.
44 patients, 55% viewed the educational video.
Yeah.
92%, 22 patients reported the video adequately prepared them for the procedure. Well, of course, UroNurse is all about education.
Yes.
UroPatient, which comes on right after UroNurse every Saturday at 10:30, is all about patient education. So what I'd like to do is I'll probably take your little QR
please
code
do.
and we'll do a little episode about your presentation, and patients can watch to learn more
that
about
would be
urodynamics.
fantastic.
All right.
And then we can translate it in Spanish someday.
There you go.
Yep, that was really neat. Everybody was so happy to talk about their posters. Hey, for you folks that are writing in saying you wish you were here, we brought it to you just in case you couldn't make it, so we're glad. And those of you Chicago Metro people out there, we did win Chapter of the Year, and that's a lot of thanks to all the folks that watch UroNurse and UroPatient, and Dr. Jeff talks about sex and intimacy, and the UroNurse news every weekday, Monday through Friday. Not a plug, but for all of you that helped to keep this show going, it's a lot of the reason that we ended up winning the presentation of the Chapter of the Year. As a matter of fact, when I got the presentation, the president basically said, duh, who could beat you? So it was great. Hey, Lori, it was a great episode. Glad to be able to do this live with you. If I don't tell you enough how much I appreciate you coming on the show every week with me, it's always a pleasure to have your input.
Oh, it's really nice to see you in person every couple
Yeah.
of times a year. And I love doing this. And I do this because I love urology and I'm passionate about it. And I like to share my knowledge with viewers as well.
Yeah, and I think that's really what resonates with our audience is the fact we love what we're doing. We all love to help patients out, and it's being able to reach out this way is great. So we'll see everybody next week. And next week I have this episode coming up.
Premature ejaculation is one of the most common sexual health concerns for men. However, it is frequently accompanied by stigma, feelings of embarrassment, and a lack of accurate information. In this episode, host Vic Senese is joined by Jeff Abraham, CEO of Promescent, to break down everything you need to know about premature ejaculation. From the real causes and persistent myths to proven treatments that actually work. Join us on October 18th at 9 a.m. Central Time to learn more.
All right, join us next week. Coming from live from my studio, much nicer than being in a live environment like this. But again, it's fun to be able to see Lori in person. We'll see everybody next week. Have a great rest of your week.
So here's to the mornings, the coffee, the monitor glow, to the wisdom he shares and the folks that he knows. Saturday is special when Vic's on the stream with 40 years of knowledge and a head full of dreams.